again, Delirious77 here with Jedi Survivor Review. Um, I love this game. Much more open world and exploratory, even more so than the first one. The gadgets, the Jedi Force powers, the finishing moves are probably the best part. Um, and we'll get all to that. But for most of this, no spoilers. I did just the first level, maybe second planet, just a couple of clips here and there, some boss fights. Well, not boss fights, big creature fights. I didn't want to spoil too much, but the sound effects, the movement, the graphics are off the charts. It has a pretty much the first mission is very much like a tutorial, just kind of walking you through some of your basic powers, and as you complete the story, you get a more significant traversal power or tech, or just depending on how you look at it, force ability, something of that sort. So we're gonna get into it and go over some of the pros, and there's not many cons, but we're gonna check it out.
I can trust you.
All right, so this being a sequel, they did a really good job with the graphics. They upped the game. Classic Lucasfilms and LucasArts,
May the force be with you.
Star Wars sound effects, gadgets, robots, everything is pretty standard. But they did an amazing job with the voiceover, the acting, the storytelling. It has a really good um, feel to it. It pretty much takes place sometime after the first game. Uh, Everyone loves
How we looking, BD?
a Star Wars spaceship takeoff and landing and hyperspace and light speed and all that, and they have it all. Um, Coming to the rest of it, the controls are very good, and I have to be honest, I admit I suck at hack and slash timing parry type games, but you know, this makes it a little easier. You have the ability to use many different stances. You got the pistol stance with the lightsaber in one hand, pistol on the other, the dual, as you see here. They have the bow staff, the original one-handed, and then they even throw in like a broadsword. Pretty badass. But on top of that, all of the skill tree stuff is pretty standard. You know, you pick what you want, your perks, you meditate. Each time you save, just like the old one, it resets the enemies, so it makes you really rethink. But I honestly love just exploring, trying to find all those unique little force traces and extra shards to everything you buy in this game is basically based around aesthetics, clothing, hairstyle, you know, the robot, the lightsaber. It's all aesthetic. Doesn't really do a whole lot of difference, but the clothing and the hairstyles are pretty cool. You know, as of the making of the video, I haven't finished the game yet. I'm really taking my time with it, and it does give you a whole lot of exploratory areas and visuals. I would honestly be to say take your time, don't rush through this. You know, the story is kind of to the point where you get to think you can always go back. They force you to go back, so each new power gives you an ability to go back to get to a place you couldn't get before. Lots of hidden gems, lots of Star Wars lore all over the place, many different races. It's a great storyline. On top of that, some of these are some of my favorites. The big animals or the big creatures and bosses, they have some amazing feel to them. You have to figure them out. They'll be pattern and or when you can block, when you move. Some have one-hit kills, and that will drive you mad, but stay the course. It does get better, and you get better at it.
We could use a few tweaks.
So here's the upgrade bench, which is pretty much for your lightsaber, BB, and some of your stances. And they're pretty much all aesthetic. He's always on you, and you're always wearing clothes, so everything follows over to each of your cutscenes, which is one of my favorite things about new games these days. It's not just some preset cookie cut that it was from what you were wearing. Every scene follows over. And so I'm giving this a 9 out of 10, in that I have the Ultimate Game Pass, which is one of the greatest things ever. And it's free on the EA. It's a worth play. It's even a worth play through and a worth play over, depending on how much you love these games. But the puzzles are fun, interactive, and challenging without being maddening. I think they did a fantastic job with the graphics, all in all. controls, kind of like Spider-Man meets God of War meets Star Wars. Need more of these. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to hear in the comments what you thought of it if you played it. I mean, I'm more of a Trekkie fan myself, but Star Wars, I'm a child of the 80s. Of course, we love Star Wars and play Star Wars and hope to play more Star Wars.
No way we're
So,
crossing that still breathing.
thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.